and gentlemen, at this time I would like to ask you that you all please rise and remove your hats for the play of our national anthem.
Welcome to Long Beach City College football here at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Long Beach. Your Long Beach City College Vikings will be hosting the LA Valley Monarchs. I am Randy Jones and I am your host today. So the Vikings coming off of a tough game last week against Mount Sac, losing it at the end 43-36 as Drake Peabody threw an interception in the end zone. If they would have completed it with an extra point, it had been tied and gone into overtime. So the Vikings fall to 1-1. Vikings will be receiving today, going from right to left. You're looking at the Monarchs there, getting ready to kick off. The Monarchs, looking up their school information for you, they green and gold. Green and gold are their colors. So that's actually, it looks black, but it's actually a real dark green. The booted away, and this game is underway. Vikings taking off at the 2. Gets a good block, hits hard. We see a flag is thrown out at the 30-yard line. On the return there, that was Pierre Robinson. Pierre this year, he's our #1 rusher. He's had 2 touchdowns receiving, so he's being used quite a bit. He's a workhorse for the Vikings. So you can look forward to me calling his name out quite a bit today. LA Valley, they're the Monarchs. They're in the American Pacific Division, green and gold. They were founded in 1949, have an enrollment of 21,000. The head coach is Matt White. Their home field is Monarch Stadium. And you are looking at Drake Peabody standing at his own 17-yard line. Vikings have a tight end in motion. They gave, it looked like there could have been a face mask on that play there. But as I just said a moment ago, that was Pierre Robinson that got the ball. He was hit immediately, throwing for a 3-yard loss. In last week's game against Mount San Antonio, the Vikings lost several offensive linemen. So we have a bunch of offensive linemen that are usually playing defense that are out there today. And it looks like there was movement. I believe the movement was on the Monarchs. But they might draw on the Vikings to move. And you're going to see a lot of that with a lot of the new offensive linemen for the Vikings. That there is the referee, Jeff Phillips. And Jeff Phillips said it was encroachment, so that's offsides on LA Valley. Moves the ball to the 25-yard line. Brings up a 2nd down and 8. Peabody back to pass, complete at the 30. Got a 1st down and more. Crosses the 35-yard line. And that is none other than Mishon Lathan. Vikings hurry to the line of scrimmage. What they do is they all get up to the line of scrimmage, and then they see what defense is being shown. They look over to the sidelines, get the final play call, and then they're ready to go, and they've already done that. Peabody, hard call snap there. He tried to get the Monarchs to go off sides, and I think he did. Carrying the ball out across the 40-yard line to about the 45-yard line. I believe that once again, it was Sean White was the running back on that, number 3. And it was offsides against LA Valley. But they are going to take the play because they got almost 9 yards on the play instead of taking 5 yards. So it'll be a 2nd and 1. Could have been a 1st and 5. They choose 2nd and 1 from the 46. Peabody faked the handoff, and he didn't see the people coming from behind. In on the tackle for the Monarchs was Amir Pousley. 6-yard loss takes us back to the 40-yard line. We need to get out just on the other side of the 46 for a 1st down. So it brings up a 2nd and a short 7, long 6. Depends on how you want to look at it. You see there the right end, number 9 there on the Monarchs. He's trying to fake that he was coming in, trying to make the Vikings move, but they've already been offside twice, so it's not working for the Monarchs. Peabody back to pass, looking to his left. Now looks to his right, complete out of the backfield at the 40-yard line, getting out to about the 42-yard line is Pierre Robinson. They will mark it at the 42, so it's going to be a 3rd and about 5. So you see a whole bunch of, 4th and 5. So the Vikings, some of the players wanted to go for it, but they're going to go ahead and punt. And coming on to punt will be Mika Hagler. Actually saw Mika down below when I got here a couple hours ago. And he was out there doing some little exercises, getting ready for today. And here he is out there standing at his own 26-yard line, getting ready to take this, see how he can knock this punt out. The kick is a line drive. It bounces, a Viking bounce all the way to the 18-yard line. It's scooped up to the 30, to the 35, to the 40. Jumps over. Oh, beautiful athletic play there. Juan Parker does really well on that return. He brought it out. He got it at the 18. He's going to get all the way out to about the 48-yard line. It's a good 30-yard punt return. And it sets up Valley College in excellent field possession here. Just in the waning moments. No score. The Vikings and the Monarchs. So you see the Monarchs, they come out with a similar formation as what the Vikings have. 2 receivers to left, 1 to the right. Tight end is off the line of scrimmage right there. Throwing downfield, almost intercepted. I could tell it was going to come up a little short there, but good defense by the Vikings, and that was, I want to say 18. I can't. Jeremiah Houston. And Jeremiah Houston on the year has 3 interceptions for the Vikings. Number 13, you'll hear his name a lot out there. Carrying the ball over the 50-yard line. In on the tackle, a couple people for the Vikings. Jack Genoa and also Chris Poyer. I think Chris Poyer was the main one on that tackle. Brings up a 2nd and 4. They need to get to the 42. Hit in the backfield and going down. Almost looked like a little bit of a mix-up between the quarterback and the running back as they banged into each other. No momentum whatsoever. Tackle was number 98. And that was Kaz Hayashi. Kaz is 5'11", 240-pound freshman from Mary Star from Tokyo, Japan. Back to pass on 3rd down. Wide open, completed to Viking 45 inside the 40 and having a 1st down. Terrell Love Jr. giving the Monarchs their first down of the game. And is taking the ball down to the Viking 37-yard line. Two running backs, one of them's going out. Going up the middle, bursting through the line of scrimmage, getting almost to the 30-yard line, to the 31-yard line, actually. Same man again, that's Terrell Love Jr. Trying to hurry up the play here is the quarterback, Patrick Gonzalez. Gonzalez fakes a handout, passing to the outside. Great tackle by the Vikings right there. Tackle was made by number 21, and that's Jack Genova, Genova. Jack's from Modern Day High School in Santa Ana. 6 foot, 210-pound freshman. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 3. This is a big play because I think they're right on the edge of field goal range for the Monarchs. See if the Vikings get a big defensive stand. And whistles go off on the field, so it's a dead ball foul. We'll see what's going to happen, what the call is going to be. And it is going to go against the Monarchs. So the man with the white hat doing the official out there, he's the referee, Jeff Phillips. The umpire is Jay Drury. Head lineman's Greg Covington. Sergio Godinez is a line judge. Field judge Michael Harvey. Side judge Blake Morgan. And the back judge Tyrone Clark. They play the down over again. Passing to the outside, diving for it and making the catch. Nice athletic catch there. Was number 29, Jerry Mack. It's going to be short by about 2 yards. They need to get to the Viking 27-yard line. They're not going to go for the field goal. They're electing to go for it on 4th down. 4th and 4. Let's see if the Vikings with a big defensive stand here. Play action. No, he gets drilled. A beautiful tackle right there. Not being fooled at all. Was Adrian Hernandez. Defensive lineman out of Palos Verdes High School, 6'2", 245 pounds, sophomore. Makes a tackle. It's going to be a change of downs. Big play there by Hernandez. Vikings take over at their own 34. Vikings using 3 receivers and a tight end with a running back. Low snap to Peabody. 40, gets around the corner. He can keep on going forever, trying to grab the ball instead of wrapping him up. Beautiful run there. Once again, that is a Tayshawn White. And a defensive player about his own, at their own Viking, about 42-yard line, was trying to grab the ball. And instead of tackling, it enabled White to get an extra 10 yards more out of the play. Another dead ball, and they're going to be a timeout. If you see the official right down at the bottom there, about 47-yard line, calling a timeout for the Monarchs. 8:35 to go. Vikings with the ball at the 47-yard line. Looking in pretty good shape. Gives us a moment here to tell you a little bit about the Dirty 30. And the Dirty 30 is the national rankings and has the Vikings in the Dirty 30. We are at number 27. Actually, 21. From the 47, 1st and 10 Vikings. Beautiful run there and getting close to another first down. Is none other than Mr. White again, Tayshawn White, 5'10", 200-pound freshman from Inglewood High School. Tayshawn in the backfield alongside Drake Peabody. Right to his left, about a yard or two behind him. Peabody looking over to the sidelines, see if they want to change the play. They're going to keep the one they'd originally called. Peabody back to pass. Goes up lane. Now he's going to run it. He's got plenty of room to the 40 to the 35. Running out of bounds at about the 31-yard line is Peabody, and it's going to be a big first down for the Vikings as they're continuing to move the ball.
He needed 2, he got more. First down, Vikings.
First down, Vikings at the 31-yard line. Tayshawn White now moves over to the right side of Peabody in the backfield. 4 receivers in the game. White takes it up the middle, gets about 4 yards. Carrying it over the 30 down about the 27-yard line.
5-yard pickup, brings up 2nd and 5.
.27-yard line, 7:15 to go here and counting in the first quarter. That man on the far right side, number 9, for LA Valley, he keeps on, Malik Crenshaw, keeps on acting like he's going to blitz each time, trying to draw the Vikings from movement. They can't do it. He's picked up, though, on this block. Peabody going into the end zone, but no one's there. I think it must have been a route that someone did not run. They cut the wrong way. He thought he was going to go to his left. You see right there was number 1, none other than Victor Bates. He's the leading receiver for the Vikings. Got a touchdown on the year. And I think Peabody thought he was going to go up the middle and cut to the left and go to the far end zone. Instead, he did a little button hook and just turned to his right. That's why when he threw the ball over there was no one there. Brings up a 3rd and 5. Vikings need to get to the 22. Vikings in California are ranked number 13. Southern California, they're ranked number 5. Second effort keeps going up the middle, makes another good move. It's inside the 10. He's down to the 5-yard line. Beautiful carry there by Tayshawn White. Not only did he get the first down, but he went all the way down to the 5-yard line. Gives the Vikings a 1st and goal at the 5. See Peabody there looking over to the sidelines. Chris Brown's a tight end. He's lined up right off to the left of the line of scrimmage there. Tayshawn White's in the backfield with Peabody. Top of the screen is Milshawn Latham. The handoff to White up the middle. Peabody thought he was ready to go in the end zone, but he's tripped up at his last second at the 1-yard line. So nice 4-yard gain. Will bring up 2nd and goal at the 1. They're going to try it again. Hit hard and to see if he broke the plane, and the official up top says he did, and the Vikings are on the scoreboard. It's 6-0. Got a timeout on the field. It looks like Amir Postley is down on one knee. He's a little injured there. Number 7, you can see him in the end zone. He's doing squatting down there. Looks like Augustin Delgadillo is on for the extra point. So the Vikings are ranked number 5 in Southern California. Nice ranking. In all of California, they're ranked 13, and then they're 21 in the nation. On the year, Delgadillo, he's not missed an extra point. He's 9 for 9. Let's see if he can make it a perfect 10. Snap the place, the kick. Splits the uprights, and the Vikings get the extra point. It's now 7-0. Long Beach City College Vikings over the LA Valley Monarchs. You are watching Long Beach City College football here from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Let's take a look at this another replay here. Take a look at the blocking up front to get the hole for White. You know, it's really, they tried to stop him up. The Monarchs tried to stop him up, so he's hit right there. Looks like he might have been stopped, but he continued to move forward. So that was just his momentum. But he had one guy around his ankles, 2 guys up top trying to turn his body. You know, it's like if you're a branch, you would break. So it's got to be a lot of pain on that youngster. But when you get that touchdown, you don't think about the pain. You just think about the gain that you got. 6 points, extra point, makes it 7-0 Vikings. Delgadillo teed it up. Looks like the wind blew the ball off the tee. And you hear the Viking fight song being played. Same one as UCLA Bruins have. Although I don't know if we call it the 8 clap. California Golden Bears in Division I also have the same one. You're looking at the two guys that are back to receive the ball. They're both standing right about their 5-yard line. Degodeo kicks a high one. It's going to be taken at the 10. The 25 gets bounced to the 30-yard line before he's taken down by number 27 by the Vikings, and that was Drew Lamore. Drew is 6'1", 193 pounds from Kahoku, Hawaii. He's a sophomore. 5:47 to go here in the first quarter. You know, looking at the Viking defense, they're led by Jack Genova, and he's the leading tackler. He's got 13 tackles on the year. He's number 21. You'll see him around the ball quite a bit. He's a freshman. He's a defensive back. So right now it looks like he's right there about the 36-yard line. On the left, that is. Handoff from the backfield. Got pushed back a little bit. There's 4 Vikings around for the tackle. Everyone was in on that. 98, 44. We'll say 44 first. That's Noah Bias. He's number 2 on the team in tackles. And 98, we've already said his name earlier. That was Kaz Hayashi. Looks like it's going to be about a 2-yard loss on the play. It brings up a 2nd down and 12 from their own 28. Need to get out to the 40. Back to pass throwing downfield. Had a wide open man at the 38-yard line. He's hit immediately by 2 Vikings, but he's able to spin out of it and falls forward. I believe he's going to have the first down. Genova was in on the tackle on that as well. So he caught it at the 38. His forward momentum got him out to the 40-yard line, for a first down for the Monarchs. Fake handoff. Ball is complete at midfield, falling into Viking territory at the 49-yard line. I want to say that was Jordan Yancey that was in on the tackle for the Vikings there, that made the tackle. But it was an 11-yard gain for the wide receiver from LA Valley. Takes it to the 49 of the Vikings and a first down. This one's handed off. He's hit immediately. Hit by 2 Vikings, I believe, number 8 and 44. I think Mishon Lathan, no, Chris Poirier was the first one there. And then he was backed up by his teammate Noah Bias. No gain, so it brings up 2nd and 10. Back to pass. It's thrown into the flat. It's complete. Making the tackle is Jack Genova. Making the reception was Terrell Love Jr. We've already said his name a couple of times. It's about they're going to give him the forward progress there to the 46-yard line. It's about a 3-yard gain. Brings up a 3rd down and 7 for the Monarchs. We've got 2 receivers to the left, and that's where he's looking. Now he's looking over the middle. Throwing down the middle. He had a man off his fingertips, almost intercepted there. A little mad at himself, but it was still was Blake Jenkins. But he had to dive for that. He almost caught it after it had gone off the fingertips of the wide receiver. And it's going to bring up punting time for the Monarchs. It's a high punt, calling, nope, no fair catch. Taking it to 16, makes a good move. Gets out to about the 24-yard line. And that was Victor Bates on that. So you got about 8 yards on the return. So you got it at the 16. The line of scrimmage was the 46. So that's a 30-yard punt, 8-yard return. There is a man down. And it is a Monarch that is down. So it gives us a moment here to tell you a little bit about Long Beach City College. Give you some of our school information. Long Beach City College. We were founded in 1927. We're now in the Northern League of the Southern California Football Association, the National Northern. Our colors are red, black, and white. Our home stadium is Veterans Memorial Stadium. Superintendent is Dr. Reagan Ramali. Director of Athletics is Randy Tutorp. The head coach is Brett Peabody in his 6th season. You have the assistant coaches now up on his feet, getting a hand from the fans in the stands here. I believe it's number 47, and that would be Akira McLean. Akira McLean. Assistant coaches for the Vikings, and we'll get to them in just a moment, as Peabody's up to the line of scrimmage from the 23-yard line. Looked like there was some movement again, but no flag is thrown. And throwing for a yard loss on the play is Pierre Robinson. Number 1 rusher for the Vikings. And he also has 2 touchdowns receiving. So he's been used quite a bit. See, Victor Bates is all the way out in the flat. You see him standing right on the 20-yard line at the bottom of your screen. Usually in this formation, they like to go to Victor. Let's see what Peabody does. Peabody back to pass. Moving up in the pocket, and right before he was hit, he got rid of it. Intended receiver was Jonathan Bonds. Bonds is second on the Vikings in receptions this year. Neil Aoga, Wilder De Leon, Jeff Evans, Sean Flynn, Mike Reisbig, old head coach of the Vikings, Brandon Pattern, Stephen Ruda Flores, Cole Webb, Darnell Lacey, John Aponte, Kevin Duncan, Ronnie Goforth, and Ryan Goforth are the assistant coaches for the Vikings. Jumping off sides and coming back off sides is that defensive end on the right-hand side who's been doing that consistently all game long. Victor Bates gets a reception. They're marking it about the 30-yard line. It's going to bring up a 4th down for the Vikings, and the Vikings are going to be forced to punt. Looks like Mika Hagler is out on the field, standing at his own 15-yard line. He'll be doing the punting duties today. Tanner Caracano had been doing the punting, but Mika is going to try to run it for the 1st down, and he's not going to make it. And the Monarchs are going to take over in Viking territory with excellent field possession. I didn't see if that was I don't think that was designed at all. You're looking at head coach Brett Peabody on the sidelines there. He's in the white t-shirt, red sweatpants, talking into his headset. He's talking up to the guys upstairs above me here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Something you want to look at is what just happened. So, 29-yard line. Excellent field position right now for the Monarchs. They have 3 receivers lined up right behind each other out to the far left. Interesting formation. They got a man that's open going towards the end zone, lofting the ball in the air and complete for a touchdown. I believe that's number 13. And that was DJ King. He's a wide receiver from Alonzo High School, 165-pound freshman. All 3 receivers there was that interesting formation, and one went a couple feet, then went to, you'll see the replay after this extra point. But nicely run pattern there, and we've got ourselves a ball game, folks. It's 7-6, awaiting the extra point. Snap the place to kick. Splits the uprights. The officials both say it's good. With 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining in the first quarter, we've got a tie game. Let's take a look here. So you see he's the last one in the pattern. So the first guy went to his left, the second guy went to his right, and he went right straight down the middle. When I say he, that was DJ King. Went straight down the middle. Sort of misdirection threw the Vikings off a little bit. They picked up the first 2 guys, but they weren't quite sure about the 3rd guy, and that guy just sprinted to the end zone about the 20-yard line, he was already behind Viking defenders, and the quarterback just lofted the ball up in the air for the touchdown. 7 up. We had some scores that were going on. Fullerton, the #1 team in the state of California, 2-time defending national champion, was putting a whooping on earlier. I believe they'd scored over 50 points in the first half of their game. We'll get to that in a moment. Little Pooch punted not very far, taking it to the 35-yard line, coming to the near side out to the 40. Reversing field, still on his feet, getting out to the 45-yard line, turning it into a nice little run. I believe that was Chris Poyer. It's either him or Milshawn Latham. I want to say that's Milshawn Latham. On offense, Milshawn is number 8, and on defense, it's Chris Poyer. So I'm thinking it was Milshawn Latham that was the one that caught that. 6'3", 192-pound sophomore. So Vikings taking over right at their 45-yard line, sitting on top of the left hash mark. 4 receivers in the formation, 2 on each side. Peabody over the middle, it's intercepted. Looks like he stepped out of bounds but kept on trying to run there. It's intercepted by Cameron Gonzaki, Gonzaque. Cameron, he's 5'11", 225-pounder from Edmond Santa Fe High School. With the interception and run back, he gets it back to the 41-yard line. You see the Monarchs calling the play over on the sidelines. They're going to come out there and try to get moving right away. Patrick Gonzalez is the quarterback for the Monarchs. Excellent field possession in Viking territory starting this drive at the Viking 41. Looking to his right, throwing almost intercepted there. And that was Chris Poyer that almost had the interception for the Vikings, number 8. Both Poyer and the wide receiver got there right at the same time. So there was little contact, but no penalty was thrown. 2nd and 10. Only looking to his left. He pump fakes. I don't know how he got away there. He throws it downfield. They're going to have to say, nope, he says he was out of bounds when he caught the ball. That was DJ King, but he caught the ball out of bounds at around the 28-yard line. Would have been plenty enough for a first down, but it's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. The officials had called a whistle, and it looks like they want to move the ball against the Vikings. I don't know. Personal foul on the defense, 15-yard penalty. So instead of a 3rd and 10, the Vikings give a gift. The ball goes all the way to the 26-yard line, and an automatic first down. Don't know what happened there. Must have been some words were said. Pass over the middle, complete inside the 10, down to the 5 to the 4-yard line. Little showboating there going on by number 15, Julius Sebastino. But when you make a good catch, you can sometimes do that. Julius is listed as a quarterback on the depth chart, but he was a wide receiver on that one. And boy, the Vikings in trouble here. Late in the first quarter with a minute to go. The Monarchs have the ball at the Viking 3-yard line, 1st and goal. Gonna run it up the middle. And the Vikings are on top of this one. He looks like he's gonna get a yard maybe. Forward progress maybe gets him to the 2-yard line. Justin Allman made the tackle for the Vikings. There was a couple Vikings that run on the tackle. But Allman, Justin Allman, 6'1", 202-pound sophomore from North Torrance High School, just inside the 2-yard line, 2nd and goal. Handing it off this time and hit immediately. It's going to lose a couple. I want to say that was DeAndre Johnson for the Vikings. Ball carrier was Dawson Schick. And it looks like they're calling their second timeout here. They want to make sure they get the right play call in. That one didn't look good at all. They gave him forward progress to the 3. It looks like he was at the 4, but he maybe stretched out his hand with the ball, and that's what gave him the 3-yard line. You see number 52 getting some congratulations there, so he must have been in on that tackle also. That's Adrian Hernandez. That is going to do it, and it wasn't a timeout. That's going to do it for the first quarter. 7-7 in a game here that we knew it was going to be a battle, but boy, this is a little bit closer than I wanted it to be. We'll have to see, though. They started this here. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. The Vikings were going right to left. Now they're going to be defending the left side of the field. The Monarchs over on the sidelines are calling the play over there with their head coach. Head coach is Matt White, we said earlier. The assistant coaches are C.J. Claiborne, Jeff Cheek, John Fonua, Kevin Haggerty, Spencer Chamberlain, Isaac Iliana, and Mike Davis. As they break the little huddle on the sidelines with the quarterback Patrick Gonzalez, as they go out on the field. It's going to have one running back in the backfield, and that's going to be Dawson Schick, number 3, standing just off to his right. See if the Vikings can get a big defensive stand here. He's going to pass it, but there's a whistle before the snap. There was movement on the line. Let's see who it's called on. And it's called on the offense. So instead of 3rd and goal at the 3, it's going to bring up a 3rd and goal from the 8. It's going to change the dynamic of this play. I think they're going to have to call a different play. Very fortuitous there for the Vikings. You know, Vikings are a very penalized team, something that they're trying to work on. I believe they're averaging about 13 a game, but it's been undiscipline of the Valley College Monarchs that have hurt them today. Running to his right, throwing into the end zone. Had a man, but it's broken up. 3 Viking defenders there. Jordan Yancey and Kai Kanashiro. A couple of Vikings in on the tackle. So they're going to go for the field goal, try to put him in the lead. The spot is at the 15. It's a 25-yarder. The kick is no good, and the Vikings are going to hold. Excellent. Vikings will get the ball back, and it'll be at the original line of scrimmage. No, because it's inside the 20. They're going to bring it out to the 20-yard line. So if the field goal is missed inside the 20, looks like they bring it out to the 20, whereas in the Division I in the NFL also, it would be where the ball was spotted. So the Vikings catching a break there. It was 1st and goal, and they end up getting out of it with not giving up any points. Handoff and not getting out of the backfield there is Tayshawn White. Tackled by 3, all 3 of the up men, the linemen for the Monarchs were in on that tackle. It's a lot of weight coming down on Tayshawn. It's going to call it a 2-yard loss. No, 1-yard loss. More flags. And this one's going to go against the Vikings, a false start. So instead of 2nd and 11, it's going to bring up a 2nd and 16. So the new line of scrimmage is the 14-yard line. Showing blitz on the outside, and he's coming. Picked up, Peabody steps up, throws downfield. Just couldn't hook up with the intended receiver, and that was Jonathan Bonds as the intended receiver. You know, I told you earlier that Fullerton had a 50-point first half. I was wrong. It was 64 points in the first half. Fullerton won against Santa Ana 85-0. Mercy. Peabody back to pass. Got good protection, rolling to his left. Throwing downfield, has got a man at the 30, complete. Going out of bounds with it is Jordan Yancey, number 3 receiver on the Vikings. Excuse me, Jonathan Bonds. That was not Jordan Yancey, that was Jonathan Bonds. Got a complete, going to be about 6-yard gain on that. Milshawn Lathan with the reception. Been handed the first quarter stats rushing. Tayshawn White picked up 67 yards rushing on 7 carries. Passing, Peabody was 3 of 6 for 21 yards. He was sacked once and had an interception. Downfield again to the same man, just over his head. Sort of looking for a penalty flag, but the officials, there was no official within 30 yards of him. Not sure where the officials were on that. No call. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1. So the Vikings tried to trick him on short yardage. They decided, to go for it. But with the 3rd down and 1, the ball is right on the 44, and they need to get exactly to the 45. Vikings spread the field with 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Fake handoff, the pass is complete, and he's going to get the first down yardage. Going to cross midfield down to about the 48-yard line. Beautiful run and catch there as he caught the ball at his own 17-yard line, and that is number 17, Patrick Lee. Patrick has 3 receiving touchdowns on the year for the Vikings. He leads the Vikings in receptions for touchdowns. And he is also up at the top of the screen. Peabody back to pass. He's going to run this one to the 45, cutting inside the 40. Going to be close to a first down. It's going to be about 9 yards on that. So it's going to bring up a second. Wow, they're going to call it. They're going to say when he dove forward, his knee went down. Where are they going to mark it? They're going to mark it at the 39. So they need to get 2 more for a first. It's 2nd and 2. Last time that we faced this short yardage, this is when they went deep downfield. See what they do this time. Passes to the outside flat, inside flat. Complete. Oh, he almost broke away. 1 man to beat, and he would have had a touchdown. That would have been Milshawn Lathan. Lathan gets the first down. He's going to get inside the 25-yard line. Nope, they're going to mark it at the 26-yard line. 11:55 to go. The Vikings, after dodging a bullet, started this drive at their own 20. They've marched it all the way down to the 26-yard line. Peabody rolling to his left, passing it complete right at the 20 and going out of bounds to Jonathan Bonds. As Noah liked to say, Bonds. Jonathan Bonds. The pickup is going to be 6 yards right at the 20-yard line, right on the edge of the red zone for the Vikings. White's in the backfield. Motions, he goes to the left. He fake handoff to White. Peabody running for his life, going up the middle, almost got away. Gets inside the 20, down to the 18, maybe to the 17. It's going to be very close to a first down, but I don't see them moving the first down marker, so they're going to call him down at the 18. Once again, it's like he fell down, looked like the ball was at the 17-yard line, but they must have said his knee went down first, so that's why it's back at the 18, just outside the 18. 3rd and about 1.5 yards. I'm going to call it 3rd and 2. White's in the backfield. He's going to get the pitch. He's going to have a first down as he gets down to the 16-yard line. Nice little design play. That's exactly what that was designed to do, is to pick up a couple of yards. Peabody was going to run. If no defender picked up Peabody, he would have kept it himself. But the defender went for Peabody, so he pitched it right over to Deshaun White, who got the first down. The Vikings are at the 15-yard line, first down and 10. The Vikings are showing 3 receivers down to the right. Actually, 2 receivers and a tight end. Showing blitz as the Monarchs, and they're coming. White picked up one man, but he didn't pick up the other. 2 guys were in there for the sack. A penalty flag is on the field. The sack was by Jameer Bryson and Awan Parker. Let's see what the call is here. Offsides on defense. So when they were showing that blitz, they went offsides. So instead of it being a second long for the Vikings, it is still going to remain first down. We're going to get 5 yards out of it. It's going to be 1st and 5 from 10. The Vikings split the receivers this time, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Ball's on the left hash mark, right at the 10. White was standing to the right of Peabody. Peabody motioned him to the left. He gets the ball, handoff, crosses the 10, gets to about the 8-yard line. Nice block there by the Vikings, number 70. That was Tyus Tumatali. Tyus Tumalatai. Got the Vikings, and I'm looking there. You can see the far side marker. Looks like it's just outside the 5-yard line. Call it the 5.5. Well, that's outside the 7-yard line, about 7.5, 8-yard line. Closer to the 8. 2nd and 2. So the Vikings inside the 10-yard line. They could get a first down before they get a touchdown. And the Vikings are going to call a timeout. They want to make sure they got the right play going in there. Also, the play clock was down to 7, and they just broke. I don't think they knew what they wanted to do. So as they huddle up over on the sideline, you see the offensive coordinator, you see head coach Brett Peabody talking there to numbers 6, 8, and 2. Cedric Hood, Milshawn Lathan, Jonathan Bonds. Peabody was talking to all 3 of them, all 3 of his receivers. Giving final instructions to his son, Drake Peabody. Must be interesting having your son as a starting quarterback. It's not an odd thing. It happens. But, you don't show favoritism, so you got, it's like we were asking the athletic director 2 weeks ago, Randy Tutorp, when you have your child out there as a player, he gets hurt. You say, stand up, shake it off, or are you worried as a parent? It's got to juggle that, which can't be the easiest thing in the world. Peabody giving to White. White is going to get maybe to the line of scrimmage. I don't think he hit the line of scrimmage. It might be a few inches loss on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd and 1. They had the ball marked at the 8, so it's real close there. But they're going to say that he got a yard, so it's 3rd and 1. He gets it. He's hit in the backfield. Peabody comes into it, tries to push him forward. He did, but he didn't push him forward enough. The dilemma, what do? Do you go for the field goal to take the lead? Or do you go for it? And it looks like the Vikings, they're bringing in a new set of players, and they are going to go for the field goal. As you see, Augustin Delgadillo. The holder is McCade Barrett, number 16. He's a backup wide receiver. So you got good hands on the hold. The snap, the place to kick, it splits the uprights. The Vikings have retaken the lead with 7 minutes and 54 seconds to go here before halftime. Getting back to that, Fullerton 85-0 over Santa Ana. El Camino 49, LA Harbor 24. Golden West 48, West LA 12. The team we beat in the first week of the season, Grossmont, they fell to 0-3 as they lost to Mount San Jacinto 42-35. All the other games start at 6, so they should be getting underway in about 15 minutes. LA Valley and Long Beach City College here from Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Vikings have a 10-7 lead. Delgadillo teeing it up. You see him there. He walks back about 8 yards and takes about 6 steps to his left. Puts his hand in the air and says, "I'm ready to go." Gets the okay from the official. Makes sure all of his players on the left and on the right are ready to go. Boots it away. Nice kick, taking it the 3-yard line. 15 to the 20, going down the sideline at the 30. A flag comes in late. It's tackled at the 31-yard line by number 21 on the Vikings. And that was Jack Genova. Let's see what the call is. Do we back them up further, or are they going to... I think it might have been a bad block, but we'll see what the referee says. A block below the waist on the kicking team. Head coach Brett Peabody is just walking backwards. He's like, how can you call a block on the defending team below the knees? You know, against Grossmont, we had a touchdown on a kickoff that was called back for a block below the knees. I mean, beautiful run, and it was a block below the knees. I didn't see this one, but because of the penalty, instead of the ball being at the 31-yard line, it's going to be all the way out at the 46-yard line. 15-yard penalty, according to referee Jeff Phillips. 1st and 10 for the Monarchs. The handoff, he never quite got it. The Vikings are going to pounce on it. Recovered by number 52, Adrian Hernandez. It was a bad... The handoff just never really completely from the quarterback to the running back just didn't look right. He bobbled it. He was hit immediately by Hernandez, and then Hernandez plopped on the ball. Beautiful play by Mr. Adrian Hernandez, the defensive lineman from Palos Verdes High School. He's a sophomore, 245 pounds, 6'2", gives the Vikings a 1st and 10 with a turnover at the 40-yard line. You have Pierre Robinson in the backfield. He's open. He's going to get the ball, complete at the 35, knock it out of bounds at the 33-yard line is Robinson. Number 1 rusher on the Vikings, Pierre Robinson. He also has 2 touchdowns receiving on the year. They're going to say he went out of bounds, though. Thought he had a 1st down on that. It's only going to be a 2-yard gain. Wow. Looks like there's a timeout on the field. That is their 3rd timeout, so the Monarchs will be out of timeouts. They must not have liked the defense alignment that they had, and that's why they called the timeout. With 7 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. See the offensive line coach there. He's talking to the offensive lineman. Pull them all aside. That's just the offensive lineman. So that's blocking assignments that they're getting right there. Right behind him, and say, see the difference. Valley, their whole team is being talked to. But the receivers are being talked to along with the quarterback. You see Brett Peabody, and you see Victor Bates was walking away there. So the skill set of the receivers, running backs, and the quarterback were being talked to with Brett Peabody to get the play, and then the offensive line was getting the blocking assignments from the offensive line coach. Peabody with the handoff, breaking a couple of tackles. He's going to have a 1st down. Pierre Robinson having a nice 1st half here. You know, I was looking to see had Pierre had him in the 1st quarter with a couple yards rushing, 3 yards rushing, 2 receiving, but this one here he got the 1st down. Thought he had more than that. First down at the 20, just outside the 23-yard line. Peabody throwing downfield, complete. Being slung down to the ground is none other than Victor Bates again with another beautiful catch inside the 10-yard line, down at the 9-yard line. First and goal, Vikings. You know, the Vikings will have 3 coaches signaling plays. 2 of them are a decoy, 1 of them is a real McCoy. They want to try to throw off Valley College. It's a big deal to try to intercept signals when you know what the other team's doing. High snap, Peabody catches it. Running to the near side, still on his feet, is Robinson. Going out of bounds, being knocked out of bounds by number 26, and that was Jalen Alexander for the Monarchs. It's going to bring up a second down and goal from the 7-yard line. I think it's from the 7-yard line. Bright sunny day. Half of the field is in shadows right now. Sun's behind us here at the press box, so it's the press box that's actually giving the shade out there. Most of the players are in the shade. A couple players up on top are out of the shade, still in the sun. Peabody on a design run takes it himself, and he bursts into the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings! Along with 7 touchdowns rushing, Peabody now has his 3rd touchdown, 7 touchdowns passing. He has 3rd touchdown of the year rushing the ball. Delgadillo coming in for the extra point. So there was penalties on both teams on the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct for the Vikings was on number 7, Drake Peabody. So that had to have been after the touchdown. So, yeah, it was after the play. So since both teams had a penalty against them, it'll still be the touchdown will stand. Didn't see what Peabody did there. There had to have been some words that were said after the play. If it was during the play, it would not have been a touchdown. So it was a dead ball foul, but offsetting penalties. Delgadillo's extra point is right down the middle. Vikings have taken a 10-point lead here with 5:24 remaining in the second quarter. You hear a bell going off. Now let's see what happens here. See the good block right there by the right tackle, number 77. That's going to open up the lane. 3 guys blocking in that area, so Peabody's going to go through the middle. But they're still blocking downfield, 4 yards downfield. They really got some good momentum on that. Peabody goes into the end zone. As he crosses the end zone, looks like part of his body was already in the end zone. I think that's what happened, is he was already in the end zone, didn't like the guy going for his feet. It must have said something that the official didn't like. And that's where the personal foul came in. Fortunately, there was also a penalty, a 15-yarder on the Monarchs. They offset. The play is good. The Vikings lead 17-7. 5 minutes, 24 seconds to go here before halftime. Listening to the good old Viking fight song. Delgadillo teeing it up. He's doing his step off right now. Two Monarchs back to receive. They're both standing at about their 6-yard line. Nice kick, taking it as 4. Out to the wedge. Hit, but bouncing off the tackle. Still on his feet. And about 5 of his teammates come in and make the tackle. Looks like number 14, Jalen McNeil, was the first one in on the tackle. So Jalen McNeil from Pauley High School in downtown Long Beach, 6'2", 202 pounds. Long Beach Pauley, boy, they produce a lot of football players out of there. A lot of them are in the NFL, a lot of them are in major colleges all over the place. So the Monarchs will take over at their own 22-yard line with 5:13 to go. And they got a full backfield right now with a man in motion. Play action, and he's going to throw it, going to complete. No, it's just incomplete. Looks like he almost was down when he threw the ball. Intended receiver was Terrell Love Jr., number 1. Almost sacked on that play. So it's going to bring up with the incompletion, the clock stops with 5 minutes and 6 seconds to go. 2nd and 10. Full side on the left, 3 receivers, 1 to the right. Gonzalez back to pass. The Vikings blitz. Genova comes in and crushes him for a sack. Jack Genova unblocked. Gonzalez didn't see him, and he leveled him at the 15-yard line. It's a 7-yard loss on the sack for the Monarchs. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 17. Genova, he blitzed on the play. No one picked him up. Gonzalez did not see him, and he paid the price at his own 15. Looks like the same play as the last play, same formation. Throwing downfield and not incomplete at around the 33-yard line. Couple of Vikings in on the defense there. One of them was Blake Jenkins. And I think Chris Poyer. Say it right, Randy. Cross Poyer. I'm Randy Jones, so for those of you that heard me say his name wrong, you know who to blame. Long Beach City College football here. Punting the ball away. Vikings are going to get it in good field position. Calling for a fair catch and making it is Victor Bates at his own 49-yard line. The Vikings are going to take over there. Plenty of time on the clock. 4 minutes and 18 seconds to go. The Vikings now with a 17-7 lead. It was a little nervous time as Vikings took the opening kickoff, went down and scored, make it 7-0. Monarchs at the end of the first quarter had tied the score at 7 and had a 1st and goal on the 2-yard line, but the Viking defense stiffened, forced him into a field goal attempt that was missed. Then the Vikings took the ball 80 yards for a touchdown. Then they got a field goal by Delgadillo on their last possession for the 17-7 lead. Vikings trying to add some more points here before the half's over. Back to pass, tons of time. Going long, has a man. Oh, just off of his fingertips, Victor Bates. Just off his fingertips. Beautifully thrown ball by Drake Peabody. Ball was about 50 yards in the air, but just, they call it a game of inches. I guess all sports are about games of inches, but that was a matter of inches there, and he would have had himself pay dirt. Clock stops, 4:11 to go. Vikings with the ball at their own 49. Even spread, 2 to the left, 2 to the right receivers. Peabody back to pass. He has plenty of running room if he decides to run, and he is. He takes it, skips through a man at the 45, gets a block to the 40, trying to make it out of bounds to stop the clock, but he's going to get inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. The clock is going to stop while they move the first down markers. So as soon as they set the first down markers, there you go, then they go ahead and restart the clock. So Peabody picks up the yardage there. He done a couple of nice moves there by Drake Peabody. Drake Peabody, West Torrance High School, freshman at 190 pounds. From the 39, Peabody looks to his left, throwing to his right, overthrowing the intended receiver, who was Milshawn Lathan. Milshawn was covered pretty good on the play. The coaching staff tells the quarterback, if the guy's not open, don't force it. Just throw it over his head, and you got the next play. So that was only first down. We got 2nd down and 10. To redo it, try it again. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. In the backfield with Peabody is Pierre Robinson. Looking over to the sidelines for the final play call. 3-man rush. Ball is complete at the 32, spinning inside the 30, and that's to see where they mark it. And the field judge, the line judge, actually gives them a first down mark. Ball is going to be spotted just inside the 25-yard line to about the 24, and it's good enough for a first down for the Vikings. 3:16, 3:13. Clock is counting down. Plenty of time for the Vikings, who have both of their timeouts, 2 timeouts remaining. They've only used 1. Peabody fakes a handoff. He's going to decide to run. He's going to take it to the end outside. He ends up sliding forwards, and once you slide, that's where the ball gets first spotted. So even though he ended up at the 21-yard line before anyone touched him, he started to slide at the 23. That's where they'll mark it, at the 23-yard line. It's going to be good enough for about 6, almost 7 yards. Call it 6 yards. 2nd and 4. Almost the entire field is in shade now. Lights haven't taken effect yet. Robinson in the backfield, to Peabody's left. Fake to Robinson. Pass is complete to the outside. Banging into his own receiver, bouncing off of him, and still on his feet inside the 15-yard line is Milshawn Lathan. And Lathan is going to get the Vikings a first down. Vikings back in the red zone. From the 15. Top receivers on the Vikings are out there. You got Bates, Bonds, and Robinson in the formation. The pass is batted down. Had a man open at the 10-yard line, but it was batted down by number 26, and that was Jalen Alexander that blocked it. Batted it down. Clock stops with the incompletion with 1:50 to go here before halftime. Vikings up by 10, 17-7. Peabody standing right at his 20-yard line to take this snap. Handing it off to Robinson. Robinson takes it across the 15. It's going to get right back to about the line of scrimmage and no more. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 9. Bonds is up to your far screen at the left. All the way wide is Milshawn Lathan. Then you have Bonds. Down lower, you got Devin Rose in the game. Rose was open over the middle, just a little bit low. Intended receiver on that was Jonathan Bonds. It's going to force the Vikings into a field goal attempt. I believe they're going to do that. And they do, and here comes Delgadillo. So the line of scrimmage is a 14. They're going to spot it at about the 20.5-yard line. Past the 20, so you're going to call it the 21. It'll be a 31-yard field goal attempt here. Ball's inside the left hash mark. It's no good. Just a little bit wide for Delgadillo. And the Monarchs are going to take over with 1 minute and 4 seconds to go from their own 20-yard line. So the Vikings had a chance to put some more points on the board, but unable to do it. Four receivers with a running back. The running back's to Gonzalez's left. Back to pass. Throwing and completing out to the 35-yard line right in front of head coach Brett Peabody. 2 Vikings were there on the tackle. Malik Street, Blake Jenkins, and they're going to say it was incomplete. So back to the 20. It'll be a 2nd and 10. thought he'd caught it, but I don't know, maybe he was juggling it as he went out of bounds. Throwing deep downfield, almost the same play, just 10 yards further downfield. Ball's incomplete. It's going to bring up third down. 50 seconds remaining. If the Vikings here could hold, there's a chance they can get the ball back and try to put some more points on the board before they go to the locker rooms for halftime. 3rd and 10. Vikings with a 4-man rush. 4-3 zone. Pass to the running back, coming in, making the catch. Bounces off a couple of players. Vikings are holding him up at the 25-yard line. The play is already blowing dead. Clock is still, well, it was moving. Now it's stopped at 39 seconds. Several Vikings in on that tackle. Amongst them was Adrian Hernandez. So the Vikings had took the timeout. That's why the clock stopped. So the Vikings are they're gonna force a punt and see what they can do with it. Victor Bates will be the one that's gonna be taking the punt, or receiving the punt, I should say. Bates is actually out of the picture, but he's back at about his own 35-yard line, waiting to receive this punt. Line of scrimmage is at 26. Let's see what type of boot he can get off. He bounces it. It's blocked. The Vikings are going to recover the ball, pick it up. They're going to try to run it into the end zone, down at about the 1-yard line. Beautiful play by Long Beach City College's special teams unit. I want to say Cross Poyer was the one that blocked the punt, picked up the ball, tried to run it, but he gets it down to the 1-yard line, and we said the Vikings were going to try to put some more points on the board. Golden opportunity here because of the low snap, and then well, it's hard when the ball's on the ground, but he got it. He probably tried to turn the ball to make sure the laces were up so he didn't kick the laces, and in the meantime, Poyer was in there to block the punt immediately and pounce on the ball, but was able to pick the ball up and take it to the 1-yard line. 1st and goal, Vikings. Handoff busting up the middle. Looks like he's in the end zone, and he is. Tashawn White into the end zone, giving the Vikings some more points. 23-7. Extra point awaiting for Delgadillo. Didn't take the Vikings long on that one. As you see right there, nice Tashawn White. So he just pounded into the line of scrimmage. Tashawn is 5'10", 200-pound freshman from Inglewood High School. Delgadillo on for the extra point. Diving and trying to block it. Couldn't block it. The extra point is good. The Vikings have added to their lead with under a minute to play. 24 seconds to play in the first half. The Vikings of Long Beach City College, 24. The Monarchs of LA Valley, 7. You know, I was looking at the stats in the first quarter. Jordan Yancey had 2 tackles and 2 unassisted tackles. Justin Allman had an unassisted tackle and he had assisted on 3 others. Jack Genova, 2 tackles. Cross Poyer had 1. That was Tashawn White. Yeah, number 3. So Tashawn White on the year, rushing wise, well, Tashawn, I think that was his 2nd touchdown today, and 2nd on the year. So sort of a squib kick taken at the 35-yard line, still on his feet, going to the outside, still on his feet at the 45-yard line and going out of bounds. That play took about 8 seconds off the clock, but it's going to give the Monarchs excellent field position all the way out at their own 49-yard line. I know they're going to mark it at the 45-yard line. So the Monarchs are going to have a little bit of time here to throw the ball. Gonzalez, the quarterback, DJ King, Kareem Miles, and Terrell Love have been his most widely used receivers. And looks like they're just going to go into halftime with this deficit. They're going to hike the ball and down it, go down to a knee. That's what they do. The clock's going to run down to double zeros. The score going into halftime, Long Beach City College Vikings 24, the LA Valley College Monarchs 7. Stay with us, folks. We'll be back in just a few minutes for the second half of this game from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Long Beach City College football at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The score after the first half of play, your Long Beach City College Vikings 24, the LA Valley Monarchs 7. Vikings had received in the first half. They will now be kicking off as Delgadillo approaches it and boots it. Nice kick. It's going to go into the end zone, and out the side of the end zone, Vikings are going to... Actually, the Monarchs are going to start at the 25-yard line. I have the first half stats, and Tashawn White, 74 yards rushing for the Vikings on 12 carries. We have Drake Peabody, 6 carries for 31 yards. McCade Barrett, 1 for 25, and Pierre Robinson, 4 for 12. Tashawn and Drake both had a rushing touchdown. Passing-wise, we got Drake Peabody, 11 of 18 with an interception. Longest was 21 yards. He was sacked 1 time. Back to live action. Gonzalez back to pass, throwing a slant, complete. 2 Vikings in on the tackle. Going to give credit to Jeremiah Houston on the tackle. Out to the 37-yard line. It's going to be a 37-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Monarchs. Gonzalez back to pass. He's throwing it as far as he can. A little bit too far. For the Vikings, Jeremiah Houston was there. And as well as he had a teammate that was with him down there on the coverage, but it might have been number 11 that we have there in the screen. And if it was, that was Darren Button. Jaron Button. Bunton. Back to pass Gonzalez, thrown into the flat, complete at the 40. Getting out close to a first down. They're going to have to see where they spot it. First down markers are 47. They're going to spot it at the 46. It's going to be a yard shy, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And it looks like Valley is 3rd down and 1. I was going to say 4th and 1, and you're already going for it a little. But 3rd and 1, okay. Floating this one downfield, and I thought he'd gone out of bounds. The official actually throws a yellow flag there. He'd taken his hat off, which usually means the player had gone out of bounds. So that's going out of bounds and coming back in bounds. You see the referee there, the field judge. Nope, looks like he's saying it's a catch. He is calling it a catch, and it's going to be a penalty on the Vikings. I thought he'd thrown his hat down saying the receiver had gone out of bounds. They gave him a catch and a penalty afterwards. It's going to bring it all the way down to the Viking 28-yard line. Handoff up the middle to the fullback, still on his feet with a big head of steam, using a stiff arm at the end of the play. That's Terrell Love Jr., 5'10", 221 pounds, from Heritage Hall High School. He's a sophomore for the Monarchs. He gets him a first down. They're in the red zone at the Viking 15-yard line, just a minute and 15 seconds into the second half. He gets the ball again, and all the Vikings are all on top of him there. You see 11, 45, 44. Darren Button is 11. 44 and 45 is Noah Bias, number 44, and 45 is King Joseph Male. Gonzalez back to pass, thrown into the end zone. It's going to be almost intercepted by number 8, as you see there at the bottom of the screen, Cross Poyer. Boy, we're mentioning Cross's name quite a bit today. He's having a really good game for the Vikings. Brings up a 3rd down and 11 for the Monarchs. So they could get a first down before a touchdown from the outside the 15 at the 16-yard line. First down is right back, and the man was open right at the first down marker, but overthrowing is Gonzalez. For the Vikings on the defense of the play was Jeremiah Houston. Jeremiah looks real tall out there, 6'1", 202-pound cornerback. He's a sophomore from La Habra here in California. Leads the Vikings coming into the game with 3 interceptions. It's going to force a field goal attempt from the Monarchs. This one of 33 yards. And it looks like it is good. That was Jake Calver that hit that. And right off the bat, the Monarchs trim a little bit of the Vikings' lead. It's now a 2-touchdown advantage for the Vikings at 24-7. Meanwhile, getting back to the first half stats, Milshawn Lathan had 3 receptions for 34 yards. Jonathan Bonds, 2 for 27. Victor Bates, 2 for 21. And Pierre Robinson, 2 for 9. Jack Genoa had 3 tackles. Jordan Yancey had 2 unassisted, 2 assisted, total of 3. Justin Allman and Chris Poyer had 2.5 tackles apiece. Justin Allman, 1.5 tackles for loss. Vikings had 13 first downs. Valley had 6. 134 yards rushing for the Vikings to 5 for LA Valley. 11 of 20 passing for total yards was 242 yards. Peabody was 11 of 18, 108 yards with an INT and a sack. The kick is fumbled, picked up at the 15, still on his feet at the 20, getting out to about the 25-yard line, recovering really well on that was number 20 for the Vikings. We said his name all game long, Pierre Robinson. You see Pierre giving the ball to his teammate who sort of flicked it over to the referee. Vikings had 2 punts in the first half. They had 3 penalties of Vikings for 35 yards. 3 penalties only in the first half is phenomenal for the Vikings. LA Valley had 4 for 20. Vikings had the ball for 18 minutes and 23 seconds versus 11:37 for the Monarchs. Peabody faking the handoff, taking it up, started to go outside, and he cut up the middle. Got a block there from Elijah Thomas. But it's a short gain for Peabody, about almost 3, just a little shy of 3 yards. Call it second and a long 7. Peabody barking out signals. You got Pierre Robinson to his right. Peabody running to his left. He's going to throw downfield. He's got a man complete at the 45-yard line, running out of bounds near midfield is Jonathan Bonds. And they're gonna mark it actually at the 49-yard line. So he did cross midfield. I mean, that's like I am right at midfield up here, and I can tell you that that's a fortuitous spot. Thank you very much, Mr. Referee, on that one. So 1st and 10 from the Monarch 49. Peabody fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, now stops at the line of scrimmage, throwing deep downfield, diving and almost making a spectacular catch. And that was Victor Bates. Let's hope he's not hurt. He's still down. He dove with his arms outstretched, getting up very slowly, but he's okay. Thank goodness. And he's actually coming off to the sideline, right around the 10-yard line, and he's down to a knee. So I don't know if he knocked the wind out of himself. One of the officials is over there talking to him right now. Peabody was awfully close to going past the line of scrimmage on that play. 2nd and 10. New formation. We haven't seen this one. New quarterback's also in the game. Handoff is to Robinson. He's knocked backwards. New quarterback in the game for the Vikings is Jonathan Murphy. I don't want to call it a wildcat just because Jonathan Murphy came in, but it did look like a different formation there. And right off the bat, Peabody is back in under center. 3rd and 9, so they picked up a yard on the play. The Monarchs are showing a 5-man front. Now 1 man backs off, but it looks like 5 men are going to be coming on this. Peabody back to pass. Has a man downfield. He slipped and fell. By the time he looked up, the ball had already been thrown, and he was unable to locate it. It looked like intended receiver was number 6, and that was Cedric Hood. And it's going to force Vikings to punt the ball here from the 48-yard line. Let's see if the Vikings can back them up a little bit. And doing it seems like all the punting duties today has all been by Micah Handler, M-I-C-A-H Hagler. 6'3", 240-pound freshman from Capital in Boise, Idaho. Low snap, but he gets it away. High end over end, taking it about the 10-yard line. He gets past the first Viking to the 15 to the 20, up the middle, still on his feet. 25 to the 30, still on his feet. Out near the 40-yard line before he's finally brought down by none other than Jeremiah Houston, who plays everything out there. He's usually a defensive back, but now he's out there on special teams. But a fantastic run back there, getting all the way out. And you call it the 39-yard line. So that's where we'll take over, is at the 39-yard line. I thought he was closer to the 40. But the LA Valley has good field position once again. But the Viking defense has been rather stingy. You're having to earn everything out there today. The Vikings really, and the two the wideouts are both being man-to-man coverage right now. I like that. They're right up in their face. And this is an end around. Gonzalez was the one that ends up getting it, throwing it downfield, complete, nobody around. And this is going to be an easy touchdown for the Monarchs. Kareem Miles caught the pass, so they lined up the quarterback as a wide receiver. They did an end around, and then they flipped the ball to him as he came back around to the quarterback position, and the Vikings had totally bid on it. Formation that the Vikings had not seen. No one had seen that one all game long. And it worked to perfection for the Monarchs, and they're on the board. With an extra point here, they could cut the Viking lead in half. The extra point is up, and it is good. And the score with 10:45 remaining is the Vikings 24, the Monarchs 17. Let's take a look at this. See how this is where the quarterback is coming back. He gets it. Actually, that's not the quarterback. That's number 15. So it was Julius Sebastiano, and he threw the ball deep downfield. The Vikings had totally bit on that play. Kareem Miles catches it right at the 20. And you see the nearest Viking was a good 15 yards away. So they fooled us on that one. Amir Wilson was the closest Viking to him, and he was a good 20 yards away when the ball went into the air. With his speed, he cut it down a little bit, but the Monarchs got pay dirt regardless. Vikings have two men back to receive. Doing the kickoff here is Jake Calver. Looks like Robinson is back along with, I'm going to say Jeremiah Houston, but I'm not sure if that's Jeremiah Houston. It'd be incredible. He'd be out there almost on every single play. The kick is going to be taken by number 3. That's Mr. White. And he's out to the 30, cuts back this side of the field. He has one man to get past, trying to use his speed across midfield out to the 45-yard line. Beautiful run back by the Vikings there. That was Tashawn White. He caught it in the middle of the field. He went to the left. Then he turned and went all the way to the right and had one man to beat, but he couldn't beat that man. The guy had an angle on him. The Monarch had an angle on him. But Tashawn gets it all the way out inside the 50 into Monarch territory, and they are spotting the ball. Oh, and they also said there was offsides on the kicking team. So the Vikings, the run back went to the 42. They're going to give him an additional 5 yards. It's going to take the ball to the 37-yard line. So let's see if, I always say the great teams, when you score against them, they come right back and score against you. The Vikings immediately, with a big, long return on the kickoff, along with the penalty, have the ball at the Monarch 37-yard line. Hand off to Robinson up the middle. Into the secondary, all the way down to the 20-yard line. They'll probably spot it. His knee went down at the 22. Big 15-yard gain there for Pierre Robinson. Pierre's still in the backfield. He's going to get it again, going right back up the middle. He crosses the 20-yard line before he's stood up and thrown backwards. Man that made the initial contact was number 96, Marcus Dewart. Just under 10 minutes to go here in the beginning of the third quarter. Vikings trying to put some points back up on the board. They want to answer the Monarchs. After the Monarchs have scored on them, Vikings want to come right back and score. 24-17. Peabody back to pass. There's a man rushing him, throwing it, and broken up. Nice defensive play there. The intended receiver for the Vikings was Milshon Lathan, but it was broken up. I don't know if the ball was deflected or not, but Peabody was getting rushed right as he threw the ball. His arm was in forward motion. He got hit from behind, and I think that might have deflected the ball just a tiny bit. But it's a 3rd down and 8 from the 20. Vikings need to get to the 12-yard line. Peabody, with his signal calling, almost drew a Monarch lineman offsides. Would have been about the 4th time in this game. Peabody steps up, he's going to run. He takes off, he's got a 1st down. He's down to the 10 and slides. He's hit after he slides. That's going to be a personal foul. Normally it's a 15-yard penalty, but this one will be half the distance. So that was at the 8-yard line. I believe we're going to be at the 4-yard line. 1st and goal, Vikings. Nice read by play. Yep, that's exactly what it was. So it's a personal foul. So when you slide forward, number one, wherever your knee starts to slide, that's where the ball's going to be spotted. Number two, once you do that, you cannot touch him. And after he completed his slide, he was still moving forward and he got hit. Can't touch him. It's a hands off on that. That's why you do the slide. And, it amounted to only 3-yard penalty, but it's still a personal foul. But it was a nice read by Peabody as he saw that the middle of the field was open. And he actually ran right at a defender and then ran away from the defender. It was a nice move by Drake Peabody. Peabody hands off to Robinson. He makes it to the outside, strolls into the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. Pierre Robinson, he is having himself a marvelous game, folks. Paramount High School, freshman, 182 pounds. He said, this is just like high school. I dominated there. I can dominate here at Long Beach City College. Delgadillo on for the extra point. Augustin went to Carson High School. He's 5'9", 170 pounds. We mentioned earlier he's not missed an extra point this year. And he is still perfect. The Vikings score. It's 31-17, and as we said earlier, the great teams, when you score on them, they come right back and score against you. That's what the Vikings did. That's what head coach Brett Peabody wants to install. Looking at this replay, you saw how he got to the outside, and he had to get past the lineman. Once he got past the lineman, that is Pierre Robinson, it was pay dirt from there. He just almost stopped and walked in the last couple of yards. So the Vikings increased the lead back to 14 points. So each team's had the ball once here in the third quarter. Each team has got a touchdown in the third quarter. Back to receive this kickoff is Jameer Bryson and Darian Albrecht. Delgadillo's teed it up. He's given the officials a sign with his arm that he's ready to go. And he boots it. He kicked the last one out of the end zone. This one's going to be about 7 yards deep, and they're going to run it out. To the 20, still on his feet. To the 40, midfield, tripped up at the last second. And he was tripped up by, that might have been Delgadillo. But the person that ran that back from his own end zone, Jameer Bryson, I thought that was a really bad idea to run that. And he ends up running it and gets the ball all the way out near midfield. He took that about 7 yards deep. Excellent run, and once again, the Vikings having trouble on the kickoff. You know, they did a pooch kickoff the last time. Maybe something they should think into doing a little bit more. From their own 49, Gonzalez, play action, throwing the ball out into the flat, complete at the Viking 48-yard line. Hit by 3 Vikings on the play, 21-13. In on the tackle for the Vikings, Cross Poirier, Jeremiah Houston, and Jack Genova. 3 Vikings in on that tackle. But it was good for a first down. There's a flag on the field. The pass is complete at the 31-yard line. Vikings knock him out of bounds. Defending on the play was Blake Jenkins. We'll have to see what the flag is here. But the Monarchs, well, they're not backing up, so it might. We'll wait and see. The umpires, you can see they're talking to the head referee, who is Jeff Phillips, and he's saying offsides against the Vikings, so they're going to take the play. They'll decline the penalty, take the play, 1st and 10 for the Monarchs. Monarchs look like a different team here to start the third quarter. From the 29-yard line, 1st and 10. Oh, what a hit, knocking the ball loose. A beautiful, crushing blow by Blake Jenkins. It looked like the ball was caught, and Jenkins came in and lowered the boom. But they're not going to say ineligible man downfield, so the play wouldn't have accounted anyways unless the Vikings would have intercepted the ball. They would have taken the play. But instead, it'll be a 5-yard penalty, and it'll bring up a 1st and 15 for the Monarchs. You got 4 receivers in this formation. Throwing to the running back out of the backfield, hit immediately. The ball comes loose, but I believe he was already down, and he was. Jeremiah Houston tried to recover the ball, but the tackle was by Genova. Jack Genova again. And he's been all over the field today. He's having a monster game. Seems like every other play we're calling his name out. So they got a couple of yards back on the penalty, but not much. Brings up a 2nd down and 13. Looking to the sidelines for the play call is Gonzalez. Back to pass is Gonzalez. He has a man short, but he goes deep. And once again, Blake Jenkins comes out of nowhere. He made the quarterback throw that ball because it looked like he was so wide open. But once the ball was in the air, Jenkins just comes flying over at the 5-yard line to break it up. Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by Athletic Director Randy Tutorp. How you doing today, Randy?
I'm doing well. My team's up 31-17. You got to be happy about that.
Yes, sirree. You know, I hate to see the special teams, but we've done good on a couple except for that last big run back there. Pass over the middle is incomplete. You know, I know that our offensive line had suffered some major injuries. Not major, but they're not playing this week. They'll probably be back next week.
Yeah, the line, I think for every community college is such an important part of the team, but also maybe one of the hardest positions to fill. And depth is always a factor. You know, I think week by week, coaches are just really hoping to not have injuries.
Right. Well, I know like in high school, they're playing offense and defense, the guys are. Then you get into college, and they're not really doing that too much. This is a little pooch punt, and it bounces at the 7-yard line. It's going to be down right at the 5-yard line of the Vikings. All right. So I'm joined here, as you can see, by Randy Tutorp. Is that someone you know over to your left?
Yeah, this happens to be some family members of mine that have made their way down from Sacramento.
Oh, from Sacramento. Well, howdy, Sacramentoans.
Bunch of cousins and, yeah, good stuff.
Very good. So, Randy, I know that since last time we spoke 2 weeks ago, several other sports have now started up. Is that right?
Yeah, so I mean, all of our sport programs are in full competition now. So, women's water polo today was away at a tournament, had a great win over big rival Golden West College. We always happy to beat Golden West, especially in aquatics. They've both programs a lot of respect between each other, and you know, they trade every other year who's going to win.
Play action on that to Peabody throwing it to Bates on the far side. Got about 5 yards on it. Brings up a 2nd and 5. Clock just going under 6.5 minutes. So you mentioned last time our water polo coach. Now, he was an ex-Olympian also. Is that correct?
Correct. Chris Oding, 2-time Olympic athlete. And then, again, most recently in 2016 was on the U.S. national team staff on the women's side in Rio and when they won a gold medal. So
at Rio, oh, wow.
Yeah, definitely.
That was the last one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we lost. He was gone for a year. He was, you know, the way it works when they do that, they train, but then when it's the Olympic year, they got to be all in, and so he actually was away for a year.
So he's here for 3 years, gone for a year, here for 3, gone for 1, something
yeah,
like that.
You know, we haven't had that conversation to know if he's going to be joining them again for the next Olympics. I would be surprised not, having won gold in the last one. And for us, obviously, that's the level coach we have, and we want to support that.
Great. We have a soccer game today as well?
We had a men's soccer game last night, and very good showing by our team with a win over LA Mission.
Over LA Mission, okay. Well, I had looked at the score earlier, and before the game when I first saw you, I heard you talking to someone about Fullerton. When they were up 64-0, I think, at halftime.
Yeah, I think it was Santa Ana.
Yeah, against Santa Ana.
Pretty.
Do you know what the final was?
I hear it was in the 80s.
85.
Yeah.
85-0. And also, which was a surprise, Ventura they had a 1-point victory over Allen Hancock, and they won it in the last 1:07. With 1:07 to go, they got a touchdown to win the game.
Well, you know, Allen Hancock, traditionally, that's a good football program. They play hard. They have good coaches, good athletes.
I know we traveled to Allen Hancock, and it seems like when you have a long ways to travel, but he gets away from the rush. Showing some good footwork, he turns a 5-yard loss into a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration there you could see at the end, because I think he was about an arm's length away from really breaking away.
Yeah, you know, when he crossed the goal line and got his touchdown earlier, it looked like there was some talk that went on a little bit. I think it must have been a bad word, because it didn't seem like much.
What, talk? Athletics? You mean they have words between each other?
Yeah. You know, yeah, who would think, right?
In a sport where you're hitting each other pretty hard?
Yeah, you know, when you watch the games on TV and you see what the coaches are saying to the officials, you can read their lips, so you know what's being said out there.
You know, I think last time we spoke about what it's like to be a coach and coach your child, and I talked about my experience with my daughter, and I got, something we didn't talk about. I got to imagine, like, opposing teams look at this and have a little incentive to try to get the quarterback even a little bit more, since it's the coach's kid.
Yeah, that was Tashawn White there getting a first down for the Vikings, taking the ball out to the 47. You know, he must be doing something. Have you been down on the field much today in the first half?
Yeah, I was on our sideline the whole first half.
Was he? It seems like he's doing something with his play calls, because he's really getting the LA Valley to jump a lot. Using his feet again, getting to the outside and then sliding forward. Almost another 15-yard penalty where the guy went flying over his head. Peabody getting about 6 yards on that.
Yeah, he's taken to his feet a lot more this game than I've seen all year, and it's good to see, because I know that's a part of the offense and hadn't seen it that much early on, and I know he can move, I know he can throw on the run, and the RPO offense is geared for it. So.
Well, he seems pretty fast. You know, he's listed at 6'2", 190 pounds. But I mean, he seems like that there was Pierre Johnson taking it out of bounds, getting about 7. Yeah, about 7 yards on that. Nope. Yep. At the 40. See, the officials are huddling around with each other, so let's see what Jeff Phillips has to say here, folks. He's He was talking to the Viking bench, so it looks like it's against LA Valley. It is against them.
Holding on defense. That foul's declined. There's also a foul for personal foul. Roughing the passer, number 92. That foul is accepted. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That was on Rael Rivera, who picked up a 15-yard personal foul. So 2 penalties. Vikings take the 15-yarder instead of the 10, which also came automatic first down. It carries the Vikings all the way down to the 26-yard line. But and so we were, yeah, you know, I'm so used to talking about Brett Peabody. It's odd when it's his. You know, I don't want to say, oh, his son has the ball. You know, got to call him, because he probably would hate to hear him being referred to as his son.
Sure.
Oh, the coach's son. No, he's the quarterback. He's the starting quarterback.
Oh, that's a great
beautiful
strike.
Pass. Beautiful pass.
Threaded that through some defenders. That was a nice pass.
That was Mr. Jonathan Bonds again. Jonathan didn't do much. He wasn't hurt from much in the first half, but in the third quarter he's come on a little bit on the last 2 drives. But it gives the Vikings a first and goal from the 7-yard line.
I wonder if we'll see Peabody just keeping on his feet again in this series. Nope.
Oh,
Right in.
I think the running really set that up. That one there is a beautiful play to Patrick Lee. Patrick Lee seems like he is gold when you get him down near the goal line. Coming into the game, he had 3 TDs receiving, and I don't have him listed as a TD today receiving, so that would be his 4th on the year. But it seems like he doesn't play much between the 20s, but he gets inside the 20.
He's the red zone guy.
He's the red zone guy. You need people like that. So Delgo Deal on for the extra point, seeing if he can remain perfect. Came into the game 9 for 9 on the year. I think he's now 13 for 13.
Nice. I was worried. I thought you were going to jinx him there.
You know, that's why I pray before I come to the games. Let's look at this replay here. You see Peabody, he was looking for him all the way. I mean, as you said, the red zone guy.
Wide open, easy money.
Yes. It was just a nice, he went straight up, basically at the goal line. He just sort of rubbed off to his left off the receiver, curled to his right, the ball was already in the air. That's a complete timing pattern on that, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, no, and you love the execution. I mean, that's why you practice, why you train.
Very well put. So what else is going on with Long Beach Athletics? Was there anything else you'd like to plug?
It's not entirely new news. I don't think we spoke about this last time. We did just launch. I don't use the word rebranding, but we launched a branding campaign with our Viking mascot, not the LB. Our LB is still our LB, but we now have an actual Viking, which I'm looking at our score marker on the screen there, and I'm gonna have to give Bob the new graphic, because that's not our Viking anymore.
That's not our Viking.
No.
What does our Viking look like now?
You know, a lot of things I think that you would expect out of a Viking. Very strong image. Has some elements of Long Beach that you can see. There's an element of a braid and goatee. So, not, you know, it's a Viking. You see it, you know it's a Viking, but it's actually unique to Long Beach City College, and not, you know, iteration of like a Minnesota Viking or whatnot.
You know, that on the kickoff there, the man has been doing our punting. Micah Hagler was the one that was in on the tackle. And that was the 2nd time in a row that they've ran one out from 7 yards deep. Last time they got out to midfield. This time he paid for it at the 20-yard line with a tough hit by Hagler.
Yeah, they got some guys that can move on special teams, and, you know, can score. Make a team pay.
Yeah, I've noticed who's it that's out there a lot on special teams even is Jeremiah Houston. And he leads our team in interceptions.
Yeah, Jeremiah's been a great athlete for us, having a fantastic year. Very excited to see him performing this year.
Yes.
Wonderful young man, works really hard.
Loss of 6 on that play. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 16. Vikings show a 4-man rush. It's that 4-3 defense with the zone the rest of the way around. Gonzalez back to pass. He throws. Hit as soon as the ball got there.
Hit.
That was Devin Rouse. Devin, 171-pound freshman from Garden Grove, and he just put a lick. He actually, I think Devin also earlier in the game was holding on the point afters and the field goals.
I actually think that might have been Bunton.
Was it
6 foot 230? That looked a lot more like
he did look a lot bigger.
more like 230 than 171.
You know what? 11D. You're absolutely right. That was is it Darren or Duran?
Darren.
Darren Bunton.
Yep.
Okay, you're right. We have 2 11s, 1 defense and 1 on offense, and I just said the wrong person. You're right.
That was a beautiful hit by him as well.
He crushed him. He just hit him, and right as the ball got there, he just nailed him. After that incomplete there, it's going to bring up a 4th down and 16, so they're going to force to punt it. See if Victor Bates can run this one back. Low kick. He catches it at the 50, running towards the far sideline inside the 45.
Oh, we got a flag.
And that's going to be another 15 yards on top of that. I believe they're going to call that a late hit because I didn't see a face mask. But if that was down at the 44, if it's another 15-yarder, that'll take it all the way down to the 29. See all the zebras, they're all huddling together there. No, it's on the Vikings. So I was seeing that one with my heart, Randy. I was hoping we had an extra 15 yards. Instead, we're going to go 10 yards back. So instead of starting in Monarch territory, we're going to be starting in our own territory as they're backing it up right now. We're going to start still with excellent field position at our own 46-yard line. 1 minute, 9 seconds to go. The Vikings have increased their lead to 3 scores, 3 touchdowns. Earlier, Mount San Antonio was losing, and they're still losing. It's a minute and a half to go in the first half. They're losing at Chaffee 7-0.
Oh, wow.
Riverside has doubled up San Bernardino Valley 42-21. Bakersfield is shutting out Santa Monica after 1 quarter, 28-0. And I believe it was Canyons.
What was the score of that Mount Sac game?
The Mount Sac game, they're trailing 7-0, 1.5 minutes to go in the first half.
Oh, okay. Just really getting underway there.
Yeah, Saddleback has a minute and 40 to go in the first half. They trail Pasadena City 14-10.
Saddleback is really struggling this year. It's amazing to see that, considering how good they've been over the last 4 years.
And Canyons is up 28-0 over Santa Barbara with 4 minutes to go at home. Canyons and Ventura, and like you said earlier, Ventura playing at Allen Hancock, and Allen Hancock plays tough at home. Peabody, oh gosh, just threw that one off. You see the little push off there at the very last second to create a little bit of space? I love the way Victor Bates does that.
You know, I
don't know, I won't call it push off.
Sure, our program really, when you look at the wide receivers that we've had the last 5 years, some really special talents, and Victor, you know, I see a lot of promise there, and I think we have a special one in the making.
Well, when I was here before, Mike Wilson had a monster year. He had like 1,300 yards. I think he broke the record for wide receivers at our school. What happened to Mike Wilson? Did he still?
He actually played for us last year. Not the same numbers that you saw that first year of his. And yes, definitely was a special player, especially that first year. There was just kind of some magic that year that was going on. It could have been a little bit the quarterback too. Quarterback had a fantastic year. You know, prior to that, Taquan Hampton really killed it for us. You know, we just have had a lot of great skilled guys, and so I'd like to see Victor, you know, grow into that.
You know, he seems like he's going to, because he's just really, he's opened a lot out there, the way he really, I like the way he runs his patterns. Micah Hagler just booted one and knocked it out inside the 10-yard line to put the Monarchs up against their own end zone here when they start this possession.
Oh, big run right there.
Yeah, nice run up the middle.
22.
Yeah, that was Darren Albrecht. Said his name a couple of times. 6 foot, 170-pounder.
Getting the fourth quarter going here.
Let's see, are they going to go with the horn out there? Nope, we got the band playing. Something like that. But they're switching sides, and after 3 quarters, 38-17 in favor of the home team, your Long Beach City College Vikings. I'm Randy Jones. I'm joined by our athletic director, Randy Tutorp. So this is your second stint with Long Beach. So tell us a little bit about your history. Where did you start?
So I'm a local product. I really love my position right now, in that I graduated from the Long Beach Unified School District, came here to Long Beach City College as a student athlete. So I know the process and what it takes to go through academically, get an AA, graduated, transferred to San Diego State, continued out my NCAA Division I athletic college time there, graduated, started coaching, and came right back to coaching here at Long Beach City College as an assistant coach.
Were you doing volleyball?
Men's volleyball and women's volleyball. Eventually, I was locally coached high school at St. John Bosco High School, and then I came back here as the head coach in 2003 for men's volleyball. And really I did that for 8 years, and eventually opportunity and administration came, and I guess somebody saw something in me in terms of being able to get some results. And
I'd like to think it's your first name is what they saw, but I'm a little biased on that one.
I tell you, funny story. It goes a little deeper. So we are the Vikings. Our mascot is Ole the Viking. I'm actually Norwegian. I was born. My dad was born in Norway. My grandpa was a ship captain, so he wasn't exactly a Viking, but he was on the sea. And my dad's name is actually Ole. So it's a little scary when you connect all these dots.
Oh, moly! Bad snap, and it goes. Oh. They're going to throw a penalty in the end zone. They're going to call a late. And that was a late penalty.
I don't know.
That was later than the late hit.
I'm not an official, and I'm not a football coach, but I'm not sure how that's a late hit if that's what's getting called. There we go. Thank you.
Intentional grounding. Okay, good. Oh, and that'd be a safety because it was in the end zone.
Sure.
Very good. Points, folks. Woo! We go from 38 to 40. It's now 40-17. So the defense is getting into the scoring act. We've hit that number again, 40 points, which is what we always shoot for. But, just a moment ago, Jordan Yancey had made a tackle, and I didn't see what happened on that. I don't know if it was a bad snap that went over the quarterback's head. I just saw the quarterback running backwards.
Sure. Yeah, me as well. But I will tell you, Yancey and Houston defensively just been a mainstay for us, and 2 fantastic athletes. And before the game we were talking, and I was talking to Coach Peabody, and just very proud of our program. I don't know, people don't know this very well, but we transfer a lot of guys out after 1 year. And so when you're a 2-year college program and you don't get your best players coming back, it's a whole change of leadership, and it really puts a lot of pressure on recruiting and getting guys in. And I just told him, before the game, I'm just very proud that we're a community program. We only have 8 out-of-state student athletes, a lot of community guys, and we do a heck of a job. The staff does a heck of a job transferring our guys to 4-year schools.
The punter was out there having to do the free kick. And he was practicing, and he almost kicked the referee in the head. Taken by Mr. Robinson, Pierre Robinson, back at his own 30. He's going to take it across midfield, and I think I saw a flag come in way late.
Yeah, probably got to be my guess, unsportsmanlike somewhere down there.
Yeah, back on the Monarch, about 36-yard lines where the flag's at. But it was really a late. So you're right, I would think unsportsmanlike. We'll see what Jeff Phillips has to tell us. Jeff Phillips being the man in the white hat. Wow. So after the play was over, there was face mask is no joke. That can. Yep. So Vikings get 15 yards. taken back on that, so they're going to be crossing back into their own side of the field, but they're still going to start with excellent field position here. Beginning of the fourth quarter, 23-point lead. It's 40-17 in favor of the Vikings over the Monarchs. I'm joined by athletic director here at Long Beach City College, Randy Tutorp, who has told us that there is a new logo.
Yeah, we'll have to get that available for our next game so we can put it out there and show everybody. And it is on our website, www.lbccvikings.com. You can definitely see it. You can pull that up. I think it's even on our .edu website. If you just go to lbcc.edu.
I should have done that. I don't know why I put www. I don't know why I even did that. I already have open windows. But so I see the LB.
It would be one of the images. Scroll around on the Instagram side there. Let's see if we can't find it. Yep. Try the go to the .edu. Some of those look pretty old. Oh, Drake he's gonna get a targeting, I think. Oh, we got a guy down too.
Is it this?
No. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at the field right now.
Yeah, I was trying to find a new logo, but you know what? I'm just gonna. We'll forget about that for the time being. So what happened to Drake just now?
Well, Drake got up, but he took a good hit. But there's another guy on the play as well that was down.
And we got called for the penalty.
That seems interesting.
So is Drake staying in the game? Let's take a look. Okay, yes, he's still out there. He's at the 30-yard line. Oh, okay, so it has a black helmet with a red lining. So the one you're seeing there on the screen, folks, is a...
Right there.
Where?
Scroll down. No, I'm sorry, the other direction.
Oh, there it is. Okay. So our logo that's on the YouTube channel we're watching right now, where it says LBCC 40 points, it has red hat with a black sort of line going around, and it looks like our new logo will be a black hat with the red going around. You know what? We can actually, on the phone, you want to get it again on your phone, and we'll show it to the camera over here. In the meantime,
we got a lot of photos on here. There we go.
Actually, I could. Yeah, so there we go. So you can see that.
Hey, hold on! I can almost put it over the score.
So Peabody throws an incomplete pass there, and a little bit of a hit afterwards. Things are starting to get a little chippy out there.
Well, you know that happens in the fourth quarter.
Right.
You know, you're getting near the end, and the motivation starts to change, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, I heard it. There was a tweeter war going on for a while between some of their players and our players.
I definitely think there was some rallying going on social media to create some intensity.
So after the sack and the penalties, it's 2nd and 25. Peabody play action, running for his life, gets around the end, and he's going to get knocked out of bounds, and that almost looked like a late hit, and it is right on the Vikings sideline. And you know what? That is 2nd and 25. Instead of it being 3rd and about 23, they're going to probably get a first down out of that because of the late hit. Now, see, what are you a parent right now? Or are you the coach? You know,
it's tough. You know, I think, like I said before, you're really a coach. You trust the training. You trust, you know, what's going on, and you got to separate yourself. And sure, once you see that your son's okay, then it makes it all good.
Right. So that was just a real big goof there. I mean, hitting him as he was out of bounds. So instead of it still being 3rd and long, gives the Vikings, they're short of where the first down would have been. but they're going to get a first down out of it. Actually, it would have been so it's going to take the Vikings all the way to the 46, which fortuitous for the Vikings, but I just hope that Peabody's not hurt, but he's still out there.
Well, he popped right up.
He sure did. Well, you know, you get hit like that afterwards, and you don't want to show anyone you're hurt.
No, I got to tell you, they definitely look like they're coming for him on every play.
Do. Complete there.
Oh, nice.
Milshawn Lathan, who's having a good game also. That's near a first down marker, but they're not moving the chains, so let's see what they're going to call. Did he say he didn't catch it in bounds?
So Randy, I think I'm gonna take myself out. Gonna say hello to my family here that joined me, and as you mentioned, things are getting a little heated down there, so I'm gonna eventually make my way down there before we get too close to the end of the game.
I understand, you know, it completely.
Appreciate the time joining you.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming up here and joining us.
All right.
Enjoy your family. Say a smile to the camera, you guys. You're on the camera. All right, folks. So, thank you. Once again, that was athletic director here at Long Beach City College, former student at Long Beach City College, former coach of men's and women's volleyball here at Long Beach City College, Randy Tutorp. I am Randy Jones here, 12 minutes, 7 seconds and counting. Vikings with the ball, 22-yard line of the Monarchs, 40-17, fourth quarter. Peabody barking out signals. Looks like a blitz is coming, and it is. Vikings pick it up. Nope. Peabody dropped the ball, picked it up, and now he's running, and at the last second, someone tripped him up by his foot. He looked like he's saying the same thing. Oh, man, I was so close to getting away. He had one last lineman to get past, and if he could have got past that guy, he had 4 receivers that were in the formation that were all on that side, and only 2 defensive players. So really, the Monarchs sold out on defense on that one. They brought the house, and it paid off for them. It amounted to a 1-yard loss. So it brings up 2nd and 11. Peabody throws it out. Looks like the defensive player was hanging on him. When I say him, that was Milshawn Lathan. The officials don't call a flag. They don't throw their flag. So it brings up a 3rd and 11. Clock stops with 11:04 to go with the incomplete pass. Vikings from the 23, almost a straight-on angle from the camera. Really good right down the line of scrimmage there. And the Vikings are going to call a timeout. They want to make sure they got the right play out there, because this play here needs to get at least 11 yards to continue to drive. And that's what they want to do. So you can see all the players over there. Head coach with the visor there with his headset on. That is head coach Brett Peabody. And that's the Monarchs on the other side. Peabody right in the middle there. So he's talking to coaches that are upstairs here that have good angles so they can see a wider view of the field. They let him know what they're seeing, what formations the defense has been doing, and that's how they know what plays to change. So when you see that the Vikings, they come up sort of at the line of scrimmage, and they get ready to hike the ball, and they all look over to the coaching staff, that's what they're doing. Is they're looking over to the coaching staffs on the sidelines who are listening to the coaches that are upstairs here in the press box, trying to get the best formation, so we can figure out, what is the where is the defense vulnerable, and then they signal that back to the quarterback and the players, and they have it. So that's exactly what's going on right there. Sometimes there's no change. 3rd and 11, swings it out to running back, Mr. Oh, beautiful. He's got one man to beat. He beats him. He's going to have another Viking touchdown. Pierre Robinson with a Viking touchdown. He is having a monster game today, folks. 10:56 to go. The Vikings put 6 more up on the board. It's 46-17. Delgadillo coming on for the extra point. Want to see how the blocking was on that last play, but it was just beautiful run there by Mr. Robinson. Mr. Pierre Robinson. The extra point splits the uprights. 10:56 to go. It's 47-17 Vikings. You can hear the bells clanging. And here is the replay of it. So coming out of the backfield, that is Robinson. He catches it, swing pass right at the 29-yard line. That's the key block right there. Excellent block by number 17 on the Vikings. That block was by Patrick Lee, another wide receiver who actually had three TDs on the year for the Vikings coming into this game. But Patrick, with that really good block, and he held it right there, which freed Robinson, and Robinson just scooted on in. He had one man to beat. He sort of jig-jagged him, got past him, went on into the end zone. Vikings add to their lead. It's a 30-point lead. It's now 47-17. The Viking fight song is going on, and the cheerleader guys and the cheerleader girls are down there, and they are trying to get the crowd spirited into this game. Nice sized crowd here today at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Line drive kick, bounces at the 30, is continue to bounce all the way down to the 10-yard line. Picked up at the 20 to the 25. Coming out, finally hit by a Vikings, and then a whole bunch of players are involved in it. Little head slap there. And you know what? I think someone was saying good play to Mika. And they're going to call a 15-yard penalty on that. Mika Hagler, he's just talking to some guy, and the guy hit him in his helmet saying good play. Well, the referee was a long ways away, came running in and throws his flag right there. So there was multiple flags on the play. So that was one of them. They're going to call that, even though it looked like from a distance, okay, he hit him in the helmet. But it was, he's saying good play, and Mika acknowledged it. It was nothing bad. So offsides on the Vikings and a personal foul on the Monarchs. So they're going to go where the ball was ran back to and mark off 15 yards. That's the play that's going to get enforced. And once again, the referee wasn't close enough to the play. I'm going to defend the Monarch player on this one. It didn't seem like I was watching, right? I was watching it. And, he's like, hey, good, like giving someone a slap on the shoulder. But he did hit him in the head. And, I guess they didn't want it. They don't want that. Things have been getting a little chippy. Maybe they're trying to stop it before it goes any further. Nice tackle there by Justin Allman on the sidelines after a very short 2-yard gain on the pass reception. The Vikings with their 4-man rush. Handoff up the middle. First man in on that tackle was Kaz Hayashi, and several other Vikings were in on it. Number 10, Justin Allman was there again, and so was Jack Genova. So the ball is going to be out at the 25-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 3. 3rd and 3. Vikings showing blitz. See if he decides to come. It's number 28 showing the blitz. It's Raphael Jones. The ball's thrown downfield, and it's a beautiful run and catch on that by number 14. That was Kareem Miles. The ball was just lofted up there in the air for him, and he ran right underneath it, caught it at midfield, and they convert the 3rd down. Wow. They just called a 15-yard roughing on Marvin Boyd, number 95. That's going to add another 15 yards onto the end of the play. So takes it from the 47 all the way down to the 32-yard line. Just like that, Valley College is in striking distance here. Hear the crowd chanting, "Let's go Beach." Passing the ball open at the 25, caught and not wanting to go down at first. In on the tackle. First one there was Jack Genova, and he hit him once. The receiver stayed up on his feet. Then Jalen McNeil came in and helped clean it up. Give him credit for a half a tackle on that as well. They got about 7 yards on the play, so it brings up a second and a long 3. He's looking into the end zone. He's got a man open, diving forward and making a spectacular catch for a touchdown for the Monarchs. Ahmad Kent. Ahmad is a 5'8", 171-pound freshman from West Catholic Prep. And he dove all out to catch that one. Beautiful catch right there by Ahmad. The Monarchs cut the lead, 47-23. On for the extra point, trying to make it 24. The snap, the place, the kick, and it is splitting the uprights perfectly. 47-24 is now the new score. Vikings still up by 23 points, so it's more than 3 scores, so it's a 4-score at least. Let's take a look at this again here. Gonzalez is only looking one way. He's looking straight for Ahmad. Ahmad had a couple of steps on our defender there, which was Jack Genova, and right over his head, but watch him lay out for this. He's diving for it, catching it, and this has got to hurt when you land, but the touchdown sort of takes away any hurt that it might have happened there. But he got to step on Genova and took him on into the end zone. 47 for the Vikings, 24 for the Monarchs. 8:49 to play, 4th quarter. Still have not hit league games yet. That'll happen soon. But next week is a big showdown. The Vikings host Riverside. And it looks like we might have an onside kick happening here. And we do. Needs to go 10 yards. Vikings get it, hit backwards, but jumping up in midfield to get it. And saving it was Milshawn Lathan. And as soon as Milshawn got the ball at midfield, he was pounded backwards. But they'll give forward progress. They're going to actually call it at the 49-yard line of the Monarchs. So Vikings will take over in really good field position. Games in progress in our division. Canyons at halftime, they're at home playing Santa Barbara. They lead 35-0. Also at halftime is Saddleback. They were trailing 14-0, but they now lead 16-14. And that game has also gone to halftime. Last report we got of the Mount San Antonio game, Chaffee was leading 7-0, a minute and a half to go before halftime. They have not updated that. Riverside has a 56-28 halftime lead over San Bernardino Valley. In our league, Bakersfield 28-0 over Santa Monica after the first quarter. And Desert 10, Cerritos 7. That's 2:40 to go in the first quarter. The new quarterback in for the Vikings. And he keeps it himself. Nice little run there. When I say nice little run, that was Jonathan Murphy. He had a stamp earlier in the game. Jonathan, 5'10", 185-pound freshman from Westchester High School here in Los Angeles. And he went from the 49 down to the 35, 14 yards for Mr. Murphy. Jonathan Murphy, 14-yard gain and a first down, Vikings. This time he gives the ball off. Getting about 6 yards on this one is Angel Favela. Number 24, you see him right there. Coach giving him a handshake. Good play, son. He got, they're going to call it a 5-yard gain. So the ball was out 6 yards, but his knee went down, and that's where they marked it down. Right at the 30, 2nd and 5. Murphy draws a couple of Monarchs offside. They stop, which you shouldn't do. That's a free play. The ball is thrown. You go to the end zone on those free plays. It's incomplete, but the Vikings are going to get 5 yards on this. And it'll be the resulting 5 yards gives them a first down. It wasn't an automatic first down. All they needed was 5 yards to get the first down. So they'll move it from the 30 to the 25. And with 7:09, the Vikings are in striking distance again, trying to put more points up on the board. So, a lot of players getting some extra time in right now. Vikings have 3 wide receivers, a tight end, tight in the formation. Murphy almost got him offsides again, and it looks like they might have touched one of our players, but they didn't call anything. That was 2 plays in a row. Murphy almost drew him offsides with his call count. The southpaw throw is complete. First down to Chris Brown, the tight end, 6'2", 230-pound sophomore from La Habra High School. And the Vikings get a first down inside the 20. We're now in the red zone. And there you can see the beautiful camera work right there. And by the way, folks, to let you know, all of the people in this broadcast, all of the camera crew, the production crew, they're all students here at Long Beach City College. So if you want to learn how to do this and put on a real good show to better your future and your career, sign up at Long Beach City College. We got radio, television, we got it all here. And we got a winning team as we're up Long Beach City College 47, LA Valley College 24, 622 and counting. Brings up a 2nd and 7 for the Vikings. The ball is spotted right there at the 17-yard line. Nice camera work once again. And you see that? That's the 3rd play in a row where someone has jumped. But fortunately for the Monarchs, he was able to get back on side. Handoff goes off right tackle, banging into his own player and still on his feet. It's number 28, Raphael Jones. Raphael, 6'2", 220-pound freshman from Mater Dei High School, a powerhouse program there in Santa Ana. The 8-yard gain brings up a 3rd and 1 from the 10. Three receivers and a tight end, 4 in total out there, along with Raphael Jones. In the backfield is the running back. Raphael in motion going from the right to the left side of Murphy. Murphy's going to run it. Murphy at the 10. He's at the 5. He just walks into the end zone for a Viking. Touchdown, Vikings. With 5:11 to go, Murphy takes it in all by himself. Scooting into the end zone. Beautiful play by Murphy there. But that was set up by the blocking also, folks. Delgadillo on for the extra point. Not to jinx him, but he's perfect on the year. They have it spotted at the 10-yard line. In essence, this would be a 20-yard field goal, but it's an extra point, just to let you know how far out it is. A line driver that goes through, and it was good. Fortuitous there. The Vikings go back up by 30 points again. It's 54-24. Looking at the replay, you're going to see 2 wide receivers on the end, the tight end. Those are the 3 blockers, and a running back. So each one of those wide receivers and the tight end pick up a man. And when they did that, there was just the running back and Murphy. No one else was there. So each receiver hit a man. Perfectly designed, and that play happened exactly the way it was designed. Did you see head coach Brett Peabody saying something to the official? But Didn't look like he was upset. But he's over there. He's telling some of his players, good way to go. But it's a nice 54-24 lead for the Vikings. 5 minutes and 11 seconds remaining. Don't forget to join us next week, folks. 5 o'clock, same channel. Long Beach City College hosts Powerhouse Riverside City College. Game time is 5 o'clock. Advanced ticket sales are available on the Long Beach City College website, or you can come here the day of the game and get your ticket downstairs. Delgadillo boots it. This one's not going to go to the end zone. It's going to go to about the 11-yard line and bring it out. Just flying right there, getting all the way out to the 40-yard line is number 4, Jameer Bryson. Nice return for Jameer. Right now, LA Valley huddling on the sidelines, so the play is being called on the sidelines. You see the head coach right there. That was Matt White. And he was giving the play to Patrick Gonzalez, who's gone the distance for LA Valley Monarchs. He takes a little shovel pass, hit once, hit twice, knocked down. Last person to make the tackle for the Vikings was Jalen Mitchell. But Terrell Love Jr. picks up about 18 yards on that play for a first down. Takes it all the way down to the Viking 45-yard line. The clock continues to run, 4:40 to go. Gonzalez faking the handoff this time. Looking downfield, throwing downfield, completing at the 25-yard line. Tight roping down the sidelines right there is number 13. That is DJ King. So from the 35 down to the 20, it's another, actually to the 19, it's a 16-yard gain and another Monarch first down. They're in the red zone. Let's see if the Vikings can stiffen up like they did earlier in the game. Vikings show 4-man rush, maybe a blitz coming. One man is coming. Picked up by the Monarchs. Rolling out to his right is Gonzalez, and he's not going to throw it. He's just going to take it and run out of bounds. He stops the clock with 4 minutes to go. He's actually going to take a couple of yard loss on the play. You know, he could have, after you're out of the pocket, he could have just thrown the ball away. Would have stopped the clock also, and he wouldn't have lost 2 yards on the play. But he chose to run it out of bounds.
15-yard penalty.
Number 57 and number 3. Well, 57 is Azad Markosian. He's an offensive lineman. And Dawson Schick. They said they both had personal fouls on that play. So that moves it back 15 yards to the 34-yard line. Brings up 2nd and 24. Need to get inside the 10 for a first down. They have it on their own 34. Gonzalez back to pass. He's getting rushed by the Vikings. Pass over the middle is incomplete. Applying pressure was number 26 for the Vikings. Actually, he was on defending there, and that was Kai Kanashiro. Kai is 6'1", 220-pound freshman from San Pedro High School. The clock stops with the incompletion with 3 minutes, 32 seconds to go. Low slant. Complete. Getting past the first tackler for the Vikings. But Mika Hagler, who's doing everything. Mika has been out there punting, and then he's also out there doing some hits. Mika made the tackle, 6'3", 240-pounder from Boise, Idaho. But they have a ton of yards to make up. It's now 3rd and 18. Line of scrimmage, 28-yard line. Vikings show a 4-man rush. Oh, in the middle, intercepted. at the 10-yard line to the 20, to the 30, still on his feet at the 40 and getting spun out of bounds. Amir Wilson with the interception, running it back from the 10 to the 40. 30-yard return on the interception for young Amir Wilson. He's a freshman, 6'2", 185-pounder from Lawndale, California. Wonderful there. So they're going to say there was a block in the back on the return. But looking at the slow-mo on this, you can see he's going to overthrow. But Amir read this play. You see he was playing way out in the backfield there, and he saw what was coming. He saw the receiver cut. He saw the quarterback throwing the ball, and immediately he just ran in and got it. And I'm not sure where the illegal block is going to take place. I didn't see the illegal block. Oh, right there up at the 47-yard line. And that was Mika. He's in on everything. No, 42, that is not Mika. That was Pierre Hayes. But he leveled a Monarch player there. Handoff, starting to go up the middle, now going to the strong side. Running out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And another late hit. A lot of players yelling over there on the sidelines. That was Talon Patton for the Vikings. And it was a hit after he went gone out of bounds. But we'll see what the officials call. So 15 yards added to the end of the run, automatic first down. And they're saying that it was taunting. So he must have, after he went out of bounds, he must have said something on the sideline in front of the whole Viking bench. Fortunately, the Vikings had some discipline there, and they didn't bite when they were taunted. Otherwise, it would have been offsetting penalties. Murphy handing off. And he actually running over a player. Must have been excited from the last run as Talon Patton again, as he just ran over a player. Number 32 right there, you see. The clock hits 2 minutes and counting. Long Beach City College football brought to you all by students here at Long Beach City College along with Director Robert Hirsch. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today. We'd like to thank all of the fantastic camera work that we have seen out here today. Murphy clapping his hands. He's got the handoff. Hands it off up the middle, once again to the same person, making a great move at the 30, getting inside the 25-yard line. Patton has now carried the ball 3 straight times, and he's come up with 3 straight first downs. Patton is from St. Anthony High School in Long Beach, 6'2", 225-pound freshman, and he looks like he's running downhill out there right now. The ball at the 24. The give, once again, is to Patton. This time he's bottled up by several players. 89, 30, and 21. So 89 is Kyle Cordasco. 21 was a Juan Parker. But he's a load to bring down, folks, and he just didn't want to go down. Taking his place right now, looks like his number is back, is Mika Hagler. He's the back behind, directly behind Murphy, Jonathan Murphy. And he gets the ball. Nope, Murphy's going to keep it himself. Throw him to the left hand, had a man open in the end zone. Led him a little bit too much for an incomplete pass. The clock stops with 25 seconds to go. 54 for the Vikings, 24 for the Monarchs. Brings up a 3rd and 7 right there at the 21-yard line. 25 seconds remaining. The finishing moments of this game here, where it was close at the beginning. It was a 7-7, and I was starting to wonder. And ever since then, the Vikings just took off and have had it their way the rest of the way, especially here in the second half. The score at halftime was the Vikings 24-7. And in the second half, the Vikings have put up another 30 points, 4 touchdowns, and a 2-point conversion. But that is going to run out the clock. The final score is Long Beach City College 54, LA Valley College 24. Take care, folks. So long. So we will be back next Saturday, 5 o'clock, Viking Sports against Riverside. Big game coming up. Once again, final score, the Vikings 54, the Monarchs 24. So long, folks.